sound?
Okay, Baba could try someone, please check. The computer's slow, so you won't see it, but it'll be started already. It says live now.
It's a good reporter, right? Hey, Shalom, Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles, honors to the elder bishops, salutations to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathens, and to the Aquas that are listening and learning. We say Shalom. We're just going to jump right into this lesson. Can somebody grab 2 Ezra 9, 1 through 3? And then we can play that shot right after.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when that is part of told thee before, then shalt thou understand the world she made. Therefore, the earth of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High I spake of those things from the days that will be in the beginning.
Now jump to 15, 1 through 3. That's the spirit, because that's what I meant to say. But that was perfect.
Okay. Now this is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Right, and the Lord is bringing the sword. As Saint Benji gave the name to this title, Rise of the Sword. And the sword is definitely, the sword is being brought by the Lord, but he's also going to unleash Esau, who's for those who don't and this
I gotta call you back in the meeting.
and this guy, you know, his message is he's afraid of what's going to happen as a result of all this past. It's going to take them to understand. They want to bring the order, and they definitely got
Their order, where they get this, their order, which is
that's going to come.
great.
Go ahead and play the video anyway, brother, because we're just gonna keep rolling with it. It's going out enough.
I'm from Chicago, right? Y'all know the bill about to pass January 1st. Do not go for the trick. Do not go for the tricks. I'm talking about if anybody on TikTok from Chicago, man, listen, do not go for the trick, Joe. These people trying to trick us into a trick bag. You know what I'm saying? They want us to go crazy, want us to start doing all this dumb shit so they can say the crime just out of control. We can't control it. And guess who coming after the police can't control it? The National Guards. They started with Chicago first because we the, you know, they figure we the most violent and they get us first, then New York second, and then, you know, all the big cities are there because the little cities ain't nothing to take over. But do not fall for the trick, man. For real. January 1st, crime should go down instead of go up. We should reverse that shit on their ass. Crime should go down. We should stop. Do not fall for the trick. Repeat. This is a trick bag, man. Ain't no way they finna let people go for a fucking kidnapping, first, second degree murder, aggravated battery, aggravated D. Come on, man. Come on, man. That shit only happen on movies, man. Like we hip to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like don't be a dummy, Joe. Don't act like you ain't from Chicago going to be a dummy, Joe. Don't be a goofy, Joe. On some real shit, don't be a goofy, Joe, for real, because that's just. I mean, that's just plain and simple, man. That ain't even no brainers, Joe. These people trying to put motherfuckers in a trick bag so we can start doing shit, running in people's cribs and shooting motherfuckers and just doing all types of shit, running from the police. When they get behind you, they ain't go chase you. They can't chase you. You can't even tell somebody to get off their front porch. They can just steal your front porch, camp out in your hallway. You can't call the police. So what they want you to do to that person, then if that person come in your hall, they want you to shoot them. They want you to do body harm to them because you know why? You're not going to jail. If you shoot that person and you say, man, I ain't want to shoot him, but shit, he started being aggressive, that's a second degree murder. You go beat that. And you go get out the next day. Aggravated battery, you can whoop him. You can whoop him as bad as you want to, and he you know what I'm saying? You're not going to jail for it. It's all a setup, Joe. It's all a setup for us to go crazy, so they could do the statistics and say, look how high the crime went. Crime shot up 50% since this bill been crime, and now what?
You can stop right there.
Just a quick point.
Now all our rights.
I forget which mayor it was, but he was going in on this. He was talking about the trespassing. They won't be able to remove you for trespassing.
Yeah.
And he said, we can only give them a citation. He said it'll be up to you to decide how much force to be used to remove them from trespassing.
It was the sheriff talking about it.
That's what it was, sheriff. Not a mayor.
It was the sheriff talking about it.
I got a precept for you.
And it is a setup. It's a complete and total setup. They're setting up for total chaos, man.
I got here for you. This is Proverbs 1. I'm gonna start at 10.
You're gonna bring that up.
Son of sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk private without cause, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance, we shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast the lot among us, let us all have one purse. All right, so this is what Esau was on, man. They're trying to get you to go off that Psalms 64:7, man. They did a diligent search, man. They know how to get you to commit sin. They putting that bait out there in front of you. That's true. But only a wicked person to do it anyway. Only a wicked person is premeditating to do these things that's written in
and you got a whole slew of 2/3 niggas who are prepared.
Oh yeah.
They want to do it. And so they really are trying to create a purge-like scenario. You got guys who are planning. Who are planning home invasions and robberies and and hitting up the stash spot with dude keeping stuff. Yep. They planning all that, man.
That known as woman.
Yeah. Yeah, and you best believe. You can, matter of fact, before you finish reading that, what were you talking about? The tracking thing? Do you have that video with that
Oh,
guy?
yeah, I can get
Send
to it
it,
right
send,
away.
send it to Uriah so he can pull it up too.
And if you could put in info.
Because yeah, go ahead, brother. Probably should finish.
This is back in Proverbs 1 and 14. Cast not out among us, let us all have one purse. My son, walk not the, and that's what they saying now. Let us all have one purse. They saying the reason they doing this is because the poor people are at disadvantage, while the rich can bond down, the poor can't. And this is, as these people are seeing, even this regular, nigga, he's seeing like this just ain't something right about this. This is the cause more crime. Why would they do shit like this, right?
Yeah.
Let's go into it. My son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Sure, this is the point, verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Bro.
That's the spirit.
I just had the scripture,
The
bro.
net is spread. If you guys to be a fool and not put it, go right to the bloodshed. But this man is smart to realize that the trap is being set right in front of your eyes.
Exactly,
A
bro.
bird see you setting up a damn trap to catch him. He know not to go into it, man.
Exactly, bro.
He'll know that ain't it. I'm gonna get caught up in that, man. That's a
Right.
trap for the
Wow,
foul.
yeah. Hey, bro, that's the spirit.
AC, but if you, like a man, he don't understand because he haven't measured the times and he don't know what time it is.
Oh yeah, violence is inevitable.
It's inevitable. It has to happen because
You
it's
got to
the
get
will-
to the good part.
it's the will of the Father. If I
Even
make,
if these
Yeah,
niggas-
you know what? Bring that out. Then you're gonna bring out that second.
Oh,
Just one quick point to
yeah,
make, Doc.
yeah.
Even if these niggas decide to do like that first purge and just party and don't do violence, Esau will surely come, black faced up.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just said that.
yeah.
He gonna have on a prosthetic mask,
Right.
Mhm.
and he gonna have on a prosthetic gloves,
Yep.
and he gonna be looking like Tyrone and Jerome,
That's it.
and he gonna roll up. He gonna roll up on bro and them.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
right.
He
He
ain't
gonna
gonna
roll
look
up.
up on
hey,
look at the ops.
hey,
Yep.
right.
Exactly.
He gonna set it up for you to do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it, he gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Blame
Because
you.
that's it.
He
That's
gonna
it.
roll. Yep. He gonna roll up on Jose and them.
Yeah.
Jose and them gonna go after the GDs.
That's it.
Yep.
Because they need this particular chaos to happen
Yeah.
so they can come in with the solution. All right. So they can establish their order. and wickedness.
That's that Ezekiel 23. It said 24, they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels,
Yeah.
with assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler, shield, and helmet round about, and I will set judgment before them. And they should judge thee according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee.
Hey,
They shall.
that's Habakkuk right there. It says, I will send you, it's a bitter and hasty nation that I'm going to send against you. It says, their judgment and their dignity shall proceed from themselves.
Well, because it's the same thing. So they're going to set their own judgments,
Mhm.
and that's what they're getting down to, this military tribunal lifestyle where they're going to, the military is going to put judgment right then and there.
Judge Dredd.
Right there, they'll just shoot you right then and there.
Judge Dreads.
Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
Yeah.
Hey, the scripture say do his policy because
Yeah.
this law, that's all. Wait, but the next line after that, Murphy, and he shall by peace he shall destroy many.
Yeah.
So this is Second Esdras chapter, one of my faves right here, 4, Second Esdras 48. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So this guy reminded me when he said of the scripture, when he was saying that, oh no, don't do it, don't to the trap and this, that, and other thing. Nah, it's got to get more and more evil. They have to go ahead and get to the point where they cause all this chaos to get to their ultimate solution and order. They have to reach that, because jumping down a little bit in this Second Esdras 4 and 37, it says, by measure had he measured the times He talking about the Most High God. So by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. All right. So the will of the Father has to be fulfilled. And the will of the Father is that there is a particular time that he's given wickedness. But wickedness must reach its height, or good, the place where that sown with good cannot come. What's the place that's sown with good? The kingdom of heaven.
It says he doesn't deal with the heathen. With us, he chastises us to our salvation, roughly paraphrased, but it says with the heathen,
right, to all they fulfill their wickedness.
And so they fulfill all their wickedness. Now look at the beginning of the pandemic. The pandemic, everything was fucking shut down. But yet in the news, they're saying that the crime rate is going up. How the fuck is the crime rate going up and everybody's in the crib? Can't nobody go out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so you can't have it both ways. What and the brothers are going into how you had these hit squads basically going around shooting them. I remember on 79th, I think that was
you have them hit squads. A lot of them white guys wearing them prosthetic masks, and they've been sitting. People been talking about this in Chicago for years now.
Yeah,
you know, and that video that went viral with that Edomite that robbed the bank in the mask. You know, this is real shit, man.
Yeah. So no, I mean that's basically the point, that it cannot come that sown with good. It's never going to get better here in this present evil world, because this evil world, the Most High said that he sown that evil seed.
That's right.
And he's given it a bounds that he cannot pass. And so that evil seed that was planted, it must reach it
to the heavens.
Right.
His sins have reached onto heaven. It says in second Ezra, it says his hurtful works are fulfilled.
That's it.
Okay. Hey, you watch the movie Devil's Advocate? What did Al Pacino tell Keanu Reeves?
Your time.
Yeah, he basically said we're gonna stink up the whole lot. He said we're gonna do so much sin and wickedness till it reaches up to the heavens, and it's gonna stink up the whole heavens. And that's what they said. They said we're gonna do all this wickedness until it reaches up to heavens.
Hey, and then here it is. The Most High is gonna send his son to uproot that evil seed. But it must reach its height first. It must get all chaotic and crazy and stupid and the apex of Jacob's trouble. All right, all these things must happen, because they have the wicked have to be like they about to eat and just be like fulfill their ultimate enterprise. They have to get there to where it looks like
drink their adrenochrome.
Right,
they got it all.
Yeah,
they got the uncooked, half-cooked meat.
Right,
the adrenochrome cup.
Exactly.
The fine wine.
Yep.
The crystals.
All that.
They
and
ready.
It looked like they about to win and we about to lose. That's how it's gotta look. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when it's time that the Father's gonna send his son.
Matter of fact, did y'all see the video with the brother rapping about the adrenochrome?
Yes.
The queen?
Yeah.
That shit was heavy, man.
Yeah. That was daylight.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 3, starting 1. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven.
And that's according to the Most High's will.
His word.
Go ahead.
A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away.
Hey, that's why the Lord said, hey, it's high time. You know what I'm saying? That you awake out of sleep. You got to know what time it is, man. And that here it is. This is the Father's will. He gave these times to each and every purpose that happens under the sun for a purpose. Okay. And so his purpose must be reached, man. And his ultimate purpose is a one world government in righteousness, man. An eternal righteous kingdom ruled by Yahweh Shai, and subsequently the governing body of the nation of Israel. All right.
I got one real quick.
Yeah.
This is Job 7. This is Job 7:1. Is there not an appointed time to man upon the earth? Are not his days also like the days of a hireling? And the scripture says he appointed his time, his bounds that he cannot pass. It says, and then it says after that, it says, turn from him that he may accomplish as a hireling his day.
Yeah.
So as a hireling, as the days of a hireling, you're hired to do a job, and at the end of the day, you're paid for the job you've done. So now we're coming into a time where Esau is about to get paid for his work.
Right.
Okay, because he had a job, and that's it.
I hope you hear that, vocab.
Mhm.
You about to get paid for your job.
Isaiah 10 said, after I finish punishing Jerusalem, I will come and punish the stout heart of the king of Assyria.
Ooh, can I get this real quick? Second Esdras 7:35. And the work shall follow, and the reward shall be showed. And the good deed shall be of force, and the wicked deed shall bear no rule. So this is what Esau, Edom, all right, the wicked, the self-proclaimed white man, their ultimate goal is to have a one world government, a new world order where wicked deeds are bearing the rule. Okay?
And that's how you know this third world war, which is prophesied, is going to kick off because Russia and China is trying to establish their own and all their constituents.
Mhm.
All right. And as a matter of fact, they are ahead of America, a head start. All right. So America is going to have no but to to show those horns, man. And they really don't want to do it because they really don't want it. They don't really want it with them like that, man. They know about that Satan 1 and Satan 2. But you know what though? It's gonna fall off. They said the least of the flock gonna draw them out. Them imposters, them small hatters gonna do something. Which is gonna lead this thing. I don't know if brothers are aware, but Turkey and Greece is actually firing on each other. Pew pew pew.
Right.
Right.
Hey, but and that's
they fire on each other as literally as I speak.
Hey,
Right.
and
They're firing missiles and bombs and shit at each other.
and that's
Their ships.
That's part of the sign.
And NATO is is falling apart as a result of it because they're both you got two NATO countries that are at war. All right,
which is all part of the signs, all part of the tokens, and said what's going to happen. Then you know time what's going to happen.
Was a war.
All of these are this is coming up.
14.
God,
Go to 19.
15 and 14. It says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, which is talking about the whole planet. For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
And that's going to be Salaki, brother. That's going to be all the nations are going to be against each other, and then within those nations, the people are going to be against each other because it's going to create chaos. All right, just like it's going to be chaos here in America because of the collapse of the government. What do you think is going to be happening in the NATO countries? All right, and they quick to riot and fight over there.
Right, and it show you how twisted, how much wicked rulership this is. If you were at war with another nation, you would try to bring your nation together, but yet they putting things apart to bring the nation apart even more. Will show you that this is really all the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. Because if any ruler had any wisdom,
he would bring his own nation together.
He would bring his own nation.
He would get rid of certain things and try to close up the breaches and like, look, we're about to get attacked, but this is all. You're right. The Lord got these Edomites in the trick bag.
Why does the heathen rage?
That's right.
And the people imagine a vain thing.
Yeah, the princes of Zoan have become fools. The council of Pharaoh has become brutish.
This is Obadiah, the first chapter, the vision of the Lord. Vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord of God concerning Edom. We've heard a rumor from Yahweh. And that word rumor means a report, news from the Lord. And an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, let us rise up against her in battle. So the angels of the Lord are in the ears of all these Edomite nations and causing them to rise up against each other amongst the other nations. The Lord is stirring this pot, using the greed of Esau, Edom, and the individual particular greed, because Turkey and Greece, those are Edomites. You know, America and Russia, that's Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
If a nation is divided against itself, it cannot stand. This is the Lord setting these.
The house of Edom is falling.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Now I'm backing on what you said. Here it is, like you said, they firing on each other as EU nations, but they recently here just had to come together to even let Sweden and Finland in as part of the EU, because of the fact that the situation
To vex Russia. To vex Russia.
to vex Russia because they sitting on the border. So to be able to become part of the EU, they had to vote on it. All the European nations that were part of the EU had to vote on this for them two new ones to be put in. Okay, Turkey was one of the ones that was holding out, but they all came together to vote these two in, and now that they're in, they still fighting among themselves.
They can't stop it. The Lord, because the Lord is stirring up the pot, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 16, we're gonna go right into that. But there should be sedition among men and invading one another. Now, this going into how, you know, here in America and all over the world, they're gonna be it's gonna be a kick of dough, like Gucci Man said, kick of dough, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kick dough. But everybody on the floor, nigga. But also these other nations, man, hey, they at odds with each other, man. These motherfuckers who you call your friends as allies are at each other's heads, man. They're like, well, they don't agree what the fuck is going on, and they at each other's heads.
Con, let me say this real quick too. Like the video that we opened up with, that brother got it wrong. Chicago ain't gonna be first. California gonna fall first.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
California is on the California ain't gonna make it to January 1st.
Hey,
They literally gonna have no water within a week or so, and they're
That's
gonna be getting no food delivered to their stores within a week or so.
Hey,
All right, so
you remember that movie Escape from LA?
yeah, we talked about it yesterday on the line.
Oh, you talking? Oh, that's
He wasn't even there.
You in there, yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
That nigga Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, because that was the second one, because it was the original was Escape from New York, and then they sent then basically they turned Manhattan into a prison colony. Where they built up like 50-foot walls around the whole place, and if you tried to come out, you got shot down. All right, and then they did the same thing around LA. They built a gigantic wall, made it a prison. Well, I mean, the whole prison thing is symbolic. All of America is an unwalled city. It's going to be a prison from sea to shining sea, man.
Right.
But go ahead, brother.
It said, for there should be sedition among men, 2 Ezra 15 and 16. But there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right, brother. So they're going to be actually coming against their leaders, man. You already got the Italians already got beef with Larry Lightfoot. That nigga Larry, man. You know,
Small head, ball head.
small head, bald head.
Carpet muncher.
Always hold it down like she a mole. You know?
That carpet, but Beetlejuice looking at
Yeah, she really is a mole.
And
She a double mo.
She a
Oh,
double
well.
mole.
then Lord Lightfoot,
That's the inside Chicago joke, everybody.
Charles and Paul.
then Lord,
Oh,
Everybody.
Hey, but then Lori Lightfoot, she already pledged her allegiance. She pledged her allegiance to the elite, man. She said it on broadcast. She with the New World Order, man. So of course she.
Well, the way she enforced all them unrighteous decrees and unlawful decrees that could completely go against the Constitution, like many other things that are pushed by people in power here in America. They got everybody mad, man, and these Americans are ready to fight and go against their government, man.
Okay.
I just watched that report, and I think the dude said 82% of Americans are ready to take up arms or something to that effect.
Right.
Against the government, what the old ass senator said.
Hey, in the main, hey, it's a lot of Edomites. You know, at my last job, I was in a steel mill. It was an Edomite who say he bought a bunch of acres to live off grid. And he talking about he a prepper, man. Hey, he talking about I got guns. He was showing me boats and guns and everything, man.
And he ain't alone.
And he ain't
There's
alone.
a lot of people like him.
He was showing his sons
And some of these Edomites, man, got enough guns where they can supply a whole block of guns.
a whole army.
You know, yeah, they got guns and ammo, and they literally they can have their own militia.
Hey, I'm gonna get back to the scripture. My blood brother, he was telling me how them Edomites, because he shoot paintball, he said how they be asking to go in on bullets with him. They buy ammo by the pallet. They don't buy them. They don't buy it by the box or by the case.
No,
They all come together and they pitch in. They buy bullets by the pallet.
Man, and then they handing out hundreds,
And then they have
thousands at a time.
thousands of rounds at a time.
That shit's crazy, man.
You know, he say, man,
Then they go into paintball to practice.
and then they go to paintball to practice. My brother referee, so he was like, man, he said, man, these motherfuckers, man, he like, man, you think I'm trying to learn what the fuck these niggas doing, so I have a chance. I'm telling the nigga, like, nigga, you
Don't have a chance.
You don't have a chance.
You don't have a chance, man. The Lord
It's
ain't with
over
you. You the walking dead, homie. You know? Yeah, y'all, right. Y'all headed to terminus. They gonna eat y'all ass, man. Look, look, if your wife Shemana Shah is not with you, man, you literally are the walking dead.
Over with.
You
Over
a
with.
dead man walking.
That's what that one dude said in the video. Now I'm glad you mentioned it. It was the one I sent you earlier. He said the police are not gonna be catching and releasing. They're not gonna lose their jobs. But he made a point. He mentioned the vigilantes. There's a lot of Edomites that's gonna feel like they're losing their
Send that video. Send that. We need to play that. That's one I wanted to play.
It's a lot of Edomites that feel like they're losing their country.
And they're losing their women.
Yeah.
All right. I just did a video with even Chelsea Handler. You know, Chelsea Handler, the celebrity, the fake Jew broad, the great big old breast. Even she was a couple interviews and videos where she was saying how white women don't want to deal with white men anymore. And then the first men she mentioned out of her mouth that they want to deal with a so-called black man. Meanwhile, you got Eve being rejected by Esau.
Like
All right. Then now some Eves are running to Esau, but the truth of the matter is that Esau really don't want Eve. He just want to ghetto gag ass and send about her way.
That's it.
All right.
Hey, it was crazy. I just seen something on social media today how they say the Edomite woman is on the black dating sites. Like,
That's
there's
it.
one
Like,
called-
I posted in the group.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah. It was the Mexican homie I talked
Pull it up and
to in
read
Iowa.
it. But finish that scripture, send that video, and then pull
Pull
that app up, read
show
it.
the
I mean,
receipts.
pull that. Right, show the
Done.
receipts.
All
All right.
You put it in
You already sent it to him.
She has an info room already.
Finish that, brother.
Second Ezra 15 and 17.
Read the last verse you just read over.
Okay, come. Second Ezra 15 and 16. And there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
So there's going to be a lot of people just committing wickedness. Then there's also going to be those vigilantes. It's going to take matters into their own hands. They're going to be kicking in doors, what they call street justice.
Yep.
They're going to really think they're the good guys, man. They're going to be on that bullshit.
Right. I mean, just look at their movies and look at their history, man. Esau always tries to justify because they're ready to defend what they stole. All right, because if they look at everybody else as the invader and as the intruder and as the alien, and you need to go back to where you came from, and they'll never consider that that they're the first
ones
invaders, and you know, and right, and when they came over here, and then they'll say, well, we brought you Christianity and we brought you civility. No, you brought rape, robbery, murder, and disease. All right, you made in charge. Now that is being taken, and that you could possibly, you're not going to have the numbers. Like I said, you're already the minority. They keep talking about becoming a minority in 2030 and all this other shit. You already are the fucking minority, man. Stop playing and stop lying with the numbers. They already the fucking minority, man.
They're popping it up with the Middle East.
And they can't. Well, they call people that are brown as the man on the screen. They call them white, coming from different countries, especially North Africa and the fervent crest coming from Mesopotamia. Then the Mideast babies, they're infertile. They're the 47% minority even in the land of Israel. So they mad as fuck over the truth, man. The Lord said he was gonna make you small among the heathen, man. All right, and it is what it is. Your time is fucking up, man. You don't have the numbers to remain the lawyers. Right. You don't have the numbers to remain the police officers, the aldermen, the mayors, the presidents. You don't have the numbers to remain that. That's why they stopped they tried to come against the rape vote. That's why they got so angry about that, man. All right, because they trying to get because they want white women not to stop killing babies. That's when babies with brown men.
Yes,
brown.
We know from sand niggas to hood niggas.
Right?
Right. Julio and Romero getting their ass too.
You go from mowing the lawn.
All right.
To mowing.
Read Job 27 and 15. We're gonna circle that. Yeah, now watch right here. That's right. That's the nigga in the world, Yashawamba right there. Right. He trying to steal the elder swag, man. Job 27:15, brother. I got it. All right, go ahead, read it.
This is Job 27 and 15. It says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep.
There it is, man. So the truth of the matter is, a good majority of the so-called white women, because there's still many white women that stand by they Edomite maniac sons, and they murdering ass, rapist ass sons. Right. But a big portion of the Edomite women, they're over white men. All right, and Chelsea Handler is just one of many that's just saying it outright, man. This shit's all over the internet. It's all over social media. It's all over YouTube. It's all over TikTok.
Well,
who the little dude? I think I got my swagger back. That little motherfucker. All right. His videos. He always, the snow wants the chocolate, man.
That's right. Yeah. Now that goes to what I posted earlier in the info room. I screenshotted the conversation from Snapchat with this Mexican dude I talked to in Iowa. The brother y'all can know. Kind of cool. And he on the BLK app. He wanted some black bots. He hit me up and said, I see more white women than anything on BLK. It's more white women on BLK. It's for black people. That's BLK.
Wow.
Black. He say, I see more white women than anything on there. He on there trying to get some black pussy. He's like, I keep seeing white bitches on here. The Lord was showing that nigga.
That's crazy, right?
The Lord tried to lace him up with the White Castle. I posted a picture.
That shit crazy.
Oh yeah, that is. And I posted a picture.
Yeah, I don't know no shit about the mess, but that shit is crazy, man.
Hey, the black women are going on the white sites for where it's supposed to be black men for white women, and half of them are black women trying to put their end in it. This shit is all fucked up.
If you put, it's so sad.
Gender wars, race wars within the races.
Yes.
Yawanda brought out a minute ago that the less picked on the date now was the more white man and the black woman. And see, what the black women don't realize, especially when they get down on niggas like me that work at the White Castle. I was telling one of the black women that I'm actually cool with. I don't have nothing against her. Like, we cool. But she understands that I never deal with a black woman. But she's comfortable enough for me to ask me something. I said, if you just look at this, right? If you really want to know who the Lord dealing with, 50 years ago, the black man would have been hung, lynched, raped, like Elder Malcolm always bring out. That's how gangs were formed, and that's why gangs were formed. The black man would have really been seriously dealt with, for you know,
Con.
doing that. But look how a black woman would have looked. You would have knew she was just there for a bucket, like old girl in Django.
Yeah.
That's your whole purpose. Here it is. We really turning the ship. You just stand back and you still. It shows you who you still in fucking cahoots with, like you dealing with a fucking white.
Yeah, it does. It
Fuck
does.
the
And,
black
and
woman,
you're
man.
right. You go back 60, 70 years ago when the so-called street gangs, even further than that, man, were forming.
Yes,
You can
sir.
go back to the 30s and 40s, man. It was Jake. Jake was coming together, both Northern and Southern Kingdom. They were coming together and forming these street alliances, basically to keep Edomite men from coming through their neighborhoods and pickup trucks, with baseball bats, jumping out, beating the shit out Jake, snatching up a couple of women, and then driving off to the Forest Preserve and having their way with them.
Yeah.
All right, and because that's the sort of shit that they did, man. And sometimes they raped the bitches, sometimes they raped and killed. All right, and none of them was going to jail for it, and that was a regular occurrence. It happened on the I had a video that I'm eventually do a lesson on with an Edomite woman, and she's once again, that's that Job 27:15 spirit. She's speaking about how she's sick and tired of white people, and this was a white woman. All right, White Castle speaking up. She says she's sick and tired of white people always saying get over it and all that other shit. And she said all that shit didn't happen. It wasn't that long ago. How she remembers her father told her he remembered his father selling tickets for the hunt.
Yeah.
His father, and how he sold tickets to white men so that they would give them guns, and then they would bring Negroes and sometimes Hispanics to the woods, and then they would chase them down, hunt them, and kill them.
Like that Ice-T
And it was a regular, just like that Ice-T movie.
Right.
That just wasn't something that they made up. Those were real events. All right, and that's what they were doing, man. All right, and so that wasn't that long ago because that was her grandfather.
Exactly.
All right, like I saw a meme. What was that little girl that went to that school and all them white women were throwing rocks at her? And that's why they hate the critical race theory. I call it,
Right.
what's her name? Ruby what? Ruby Bridges, man. And matter of fact, I might have a picture. I have to read the meme, man, because the shit is crucial, man.
Yeah, if
Go ahead, brother.
If I may say real quick, I was just up north to go see my mom. She stayed uptown, right there on Montrose and Sheridan, right?
God.
And it's a homeless Jake. He out there just kind of ranting and raving. And I see a Moabite ride by real slow, just staring at him. And Spirit told me, like, this nigga is planning on eating this nigga. I'm like, why is this Moabite just staring at this homeless man like that? You know what I'm saying? Because in the Spirit told me, like, this dude is about to serve this. He trying to serve this nigga up. You know what I'm saying? He finna make him a cat. You finna go in that fucking beef fried rice, my nigga.
No, but they really get down like that.
Yeah.
It was I forgot what Chinese restaurant, but with this one they stopped eating Chinese food. They dug up bones and they was human remains right next to the
that too. And then,
restaurants.
hey, then I mean, how many videos you have to see with them riding down the alleys catching dogs and cats and rats and mice and shit, and chopping them up, right? Especially, I saw the video where they had a whole bunch of cats and hold them by the tail and dipping them in boiling hot oil. And the cats are freaking out. Then they just pull the fur. It's so cruel. You think they could kill them first, and they were doing the same thing to rats. They were dipping them in that. Yeah. So just cruel, man. They're you know. But anyway, here it is. It said the people, and it's got a bunch of Edomite women with them fucked up big hair with all this spray in it. Right, and they're all screaming. They said the people who threw rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school in 1960 now are upset that their grandchildren might learn about throwing rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
And they're right, and because when they show the images to their grandchildren,
They might be in there.
that's Nana. You know,
Right.
they're gonna see their grandma,
Right.
right?
That's right.
See their grandpa.
That's right. Oh, I saw that picture of you. You was a little girl at great grandma's house. That was you.
Right. Or the
Yeah.
picture of that little girl that's standing there with her father pointing at the Jake that's hanging dead
Right.
with his rod cut.
Right.
Why you
Right.
being to that black boy?
You know?
Yeah, because they also got a program that's called Pixel Up, right? And it ups the pixels. So now they can reveal, like if the picture's blurry, they can reveal all the faces that other
And hey, brother, I did videos and they deleted
Like
them
your shit.
talking
so
about
they-
that.
they-
That they have the technology. I did a video
Called
on
Pixel Up.
with all them images that they have from without sanctuary. That they can use technology to search out and find the families and all these people, and make those families liable and pay lawsuits to all these people that were hung. I mean, they can do that.
Yeah,
But they don't want to reveal that type of history. But finish that so we can play this video, bro.
This is 2 Ezra 15 to 16, 15 and 17. A man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? Which is going into, because really that's what they want to do. They want Jake to go wild. They want to bring in the military. Fuck the National Guard. They want to bring in the army because the National Guard really ain't shit. The army, the military is what's really gonna put a bullet in your ass, because these are trained men with fucking mental issues. Right? It says for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Is that not going on? Have not Biden said it's coming? All right. Hey, look, you haven't seen.
Let's go hit California first.
Because California already going through hell and hot water. They already telling them they outlawing gas-powered vehicles. If you don't have
people are leaving California back in droves.
So if you
somebody put a billboard up in California, multiple billboards, it said, "Don't come to Texas." So I just said they're going to Texas. They put a billboard up, multiple billboards in California said, "Don't go to Texas." They don't want the motherfuckers down there in Texas.
Because what's crazy is Elon Musk, he left Cali and he went to Texas. So all the motherfuckers,
people from California been going to Texas since the 90s.
Texas pissed off.
Because they don't want them to bring that mindset that California shit. Because Texas don't like fucking California.
Well, California is, we used to always say that about San Francisco. It's full of fruits and nuts.
God.
But that's the whole. But that's the whole state.
The nuts is on the fruits.
That's the whole state, man. That was the time, man. You going back to the 80s and 90s, man. A heterosexual male, a straight male in San Francisco, you was a god, man. You got all the snow first.
Yes, sir.
I got one real quick just to back up the point about all this blood that has been concealed, man. Those people that they are concealing that they could be locking up, but they're not doing it. But they're doing it for them 1948ers, though. So the motherfuckers who was supposedly a part of the Holocaust, fucking 80, 90 years old, they still arresting them motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, 95-year-old Nazis getting thrown in jail. 98 years old. Yeah.
Hey, it was a dude who I know the little small hat that the little scientist dude. Yeah. Another Edomite came about, was like, what about the slaves? What about the slaveries? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You hoop and holler about the Holocaust, but what about the slaveries? Yeah. That was recent. Yeah. What about them?
There's no statute of limitation on murder, man. It's right here to Esau's law.
Wait a minute, hold it. Why they don't find the people that still alive that
the Rothschild,
that bomb Black Wall
Street. The bitch who got
their families who got money. As a matter of fact, when you can trace down the records of all the properties that were lost and who owned them and who sitting in all those homes and houses and all those lots of land that was owned by our people, by our brothers and sisters down there, and the people who got, because that means that everybody was in on it. The judges, the lawyers, they signed the paperwork that allowed you to stay in that house, to stay on that lot, and build on it, or whatever, man.
The bitch who got Emmett Till killed.
The same thing that happened here in the Black Belt here in Chicago.
Same for Baltimore. They bombed them blocks in Baltimore.
The one community got they flooded and painted a lake now.
There's 5 of them.
There's several of them.
Yep, they can find it.
And that's what we know about. That's what we know about.
Every couple of months is a new place and a new record and a new history, because we don't know all the history of every particular city, and the Lord is bringing up all their dirt.
Some things are coming up that no one knew about, right? Because they successfully hid a lot of shit.
You drive to Minnesota. I was with the brother Mataz, and I went to drop my kids off. It's trees that's underwater. Mm-hmm. Trees don't grow like that from underwater.
Yeah, those are towns.
Those are towns, and it's houses. You see, it's houses in the hills and shit like that. These motherfuckers and this is when you first start bringing it out about how they they flooded the towns
Yep.
and shit. When we was driving past, I say, look at all this shit. The trees, the top of the trees is out the water.
Right.
Mhm.
So that mean below the trees, that mean it was ground. 'Cause
Yeah.
trees don't grow
Those are
like that.
neighborhoods.
It was
Yeah.
the neighborhoods because under the water, the trees, they need the light to grow. They
Yeah.
just not tall for no reason.
Right.
So Esau, and then if you know anything about Minnesota is extremely what you call racist.
Mhm.
They got a lot of white towns like Indiana. You know, Indiana got places called Whitestown,
Yeah.
Whitesville.
Yeah, once you leave Minnesota and the surrounding areas,
You know?
it's a very racist place, man.
After
Sundown
dark.
Because
Sundown town.
because in Minneapolis and cities like that, you know, all the Edomite women are getting japed. They showed you that going back to you watch Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Right.
If I may,
That's why niggas go to Minnesota.
can I
Yeah,
bring
we
the scripture out?
definitely
My
gonna get that snuff.
This is Ezekiel 24:6. Wherefore thus saith Yahweh power, woe to the bloody city, to the pot, okay, the devil's punch bowl, a valley. That's why the scriptures call this a low, it says the valley of the shadow of death. A valley is a bowl, it's a low land, it's basically a ditch, okay, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece, let no lot fall upon it. For her blood is in the midst of her. She set it upon the top of a rock. She poured it not upon the ground to cover it with dust. And now the Lord's revealing. It's another scripture. It says, "I will not conceal the blood," or something like that. The blood is being revealed, basically. You know, these dead bodies. It reminds me of the movie Poltergeist. If you ever watched the movie Poltergeist, the reason why their house was haunted in the movie Poltergeist because they built those towns on Native American on a Native American burial ground.
Yep.
He said, you moved the headstones. Remember when he was talking he was talking to the realtor. He was cussing his ass out. He said, you moved the headstones, but you left the graves. He said, you left the bodies. And basically at the end of that movie Poltergeist, all those bodies start coming up, man. And that's why they crib was cursed like that. It was haunted, man. That was symbolic for America itself.
Yeah,
right?
and those entities were violent as fuck too. They were mad.
Yeah, they were angry spirits, man. Right? It said for
Scripture say the land got to be cleansed by the blood.
Numbers 35 and 33. Go ahead.
It's Numbers 35, 33. Yep. So you should not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed. So it goes right with the precept the elder brother Yaakov read in that second Esdras. This chaos must happen. Their blood must be spilled. It says because thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. So violence must come. Thus with violence shall Babylon fall.
That's right.
That's right. It go.
And also it tells you too that that through great tribulation do we go to the kingdom, man. So, but let this video play back the show.
Before people even ask me, oh my God, buddy. I see the meme. Is this really real? Do these memes catch and release? Who the fuck's gonna catch? Right? Well, there's a provision in the statute where officers can just give a citation. Who's gonna take that chance? Who's going to take that chance? Who is going to take that chance to run the risk? Fuck catch and release. How about stop and get complained on anonymously? Who's going to take that chance? You have no job security in law enforcement. None. For the union contract. For the union, the law. You have no job security in Illinois law enforcement after 2023. January 1, 2023, if you are a police officer in the state of Illinois, you now no longer have any job security. And lest we even talk about the agencies that don't have union contracts. Sorry. Let's just talk about those agencies that don't have union contracts. You really have no protection. Do you know there are law enforcement agencies where you are at will? You are at the will and pleasure of your desires to want to leave or their desires to want to fire you. Yes, there are certain provisions that say, pursuant to the 14th Amendment due process clause, the government cannot deprive you of your property interest in your job without due process. That due process can come and go. You have zero job security.
So America getting
Before
around
people
stop.
even ask,
America's getting around due process
oh my
already
God,
with so many things. But what go ahead and speak on it, brother.
And just it's obviously just take a thought on take 2 seconds to think. If there's no might, police might, man, then all the other agencies underneath it fall.
Security.
Everything, fire, ALS, all the system, postal service. This is the total collapse. I mean, you take one out, you take the main head out,
House
like
of cards.
you have your house of cards.
House
You
of
take
cards.
that head out, which is the police force, it governs everything, and the state troopers too. Everything else just falls down.
Every system is built on another system. When one
That's
collapses, the other one collapses.
And these shows systematically attacking the police so to bring in the military. Because the police, they won't go so far. The military are trained to kill. And they're not only trained to kill, they train to kill civilians and to do any, and they do not care. They're hardened and they don't give a fuck.
And that's why it's going to be sedition, because you're going to have military, and you gonna have military commanders. There's military commanders right now that are planning coups right now.
Yeah.
Because they took an oath. They took an oath. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. And the American government has proved himself to be the number one enemy.
As a matter of fact, that reminds me of the movie The Rock. If you ever when the Marines went against the Navy SEALs, right? The Marines fucked all them SEALs up when they took Alcatraz, right? And it was the same shit. They basically they retired a Marine commander, a recon unit.
Yeah.
He was a Marine commander. Was sick and tired of his soldiers dying and not getting their money and their benefits and all that shit. And he was like, man, we've been serving, dying and fighting for these motherfuckers. This is how they gonna do my men.
Yeah.
And he actually went against the system, man. And it's gonna be a lot. That was a fictional character, but it's gonna be a lot of men like him, right? It's gonna be a lot of men that follow these men, and we talking about war veteran, war hardened men, all right, whose soldiers gonna be loyal as fuck to them.
Yep.
Some of they soldiers is in the civilian world will go link right back up with them.
Yep.
But that was
Right.
that's old Roman all over again.
That's old Rome.
old Rome all over again.
Well, you
Same thing. You had military commanders that was in the Roman army.
Gladiator. The movie Gladiator. What's his name? Maximus. He could have marched right if he because he had the dude that was like, look, I'm gonna go get your army. We're gonna get you out of here.
He said
and
they
we gonna-
serve you still.
He said I served your father in Vendabona. I serve him still. And he was ready to come. That army would have marched into Rome. It would have been over for commentary, bro. Yeah.
Hey, and show you a lot of military, because I used to do security. They don't even fuck with going to the police, even though the police will pay you more money. They would rather go to a security agency who will pay them maybe $50,000 a year instead of getting that $80,000-$90,000 a year to work for a security agency. A lot of even with security, the police was losing their power back then, but they just weren't speaking on it because it was incidents where the police told us to go in first. They said, y'all go in first.
Well, that's why.
And then they would come in after we call them in, after we go
Y'all
in
clear
there
the
and
area.
we clear it. Once we started it, we tell them we need backup.
Yep.
Because basically we making a civilian arrest. Civilians really got the power, and a lot of people are waking up because the police really don't have no authority. So the civilians got the civilian right kind. The shit is all
They gone.
he falling in his own ditch, and this was years ago.
Hey, Salaki, I was
Wow.
gonna say, because we do security in the downtown area. If you just have a scrap, it's an hour minimum for the
the fucking police to come in. I'm Gold Coast here.
I'm already
Yeah.
know.
Like
Damn.
everything you said
Damn.
is absolutely true, and that's why a lot of these policemen, when they put the police force, that's so shit so big in Chicago. They just get up with one of these rap niggas, and these rap nigks get a good $250K a year.
Hey, Lil
to
Boosie,
just
Private
stand around
security
them.
is skyrocketed
So
right
they
now.
like fuck my police officer job. They know I'm tactical. I got the training.
Hey, Lil Boosie
I'm cool.
just told the nigga, he told the nigga
Yeah.
right on fucking
Camera.
He say, right on camera.
Come
He said,
forward for me.
how much
Go-
you nigga? 40, 50,000, I'll double your shit.
Bro,
Come
I'm
work
telling
for
what
me.
I'm saying is true. I see these niggas all the time.
Yeah, I saw
They
that.
they
I saw
either do
that.
it. They either
I
do
saw
it for the
that.
rappers or they do it for the fucking
Yeah.
cartels.
Yeah, so,
That's
so
all. And if you fuck the police shit,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gone.
'cause
These
a lot of-
niggas gon'
because
that's
a
Well,
lot
it's
of
just
the-
like military men. They get out the military and then they go through private security, man. Work for Halliburton and shit like that. Blackwater.
and they
Yeah.
Now, because
Come on,
you were
yeah.
making
Yeah.
pennies as a fucking gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. You go work for Blackwater, and you make it six figure, you know, 250,000 plus, man. You know,
Tax
Hey,
fucking
hey.
free.
and
doing the same shit you was doing before.
Tax free.
Shoot innocent Israelites to take their land.
Yeah.
You know, you were doing it for yourself. Now you actually doing it for yourself.
Yeah. And you know you in that security shit, you know, I actually seen a lot, you know, in a lot of the military, they come to the security because they don't fuck with the police, because they don't feel like the
Police
police
is
is up,
crooked as fuck,
they don't feel like the police is upholding the Constitution. So that's why they go to the security agency. They might be taking a pay cut, but they still feel a sense of they upholding the Constitution. Because
That's some
the
diehard
citizens have-
patriot type guys, man.
because the citizens have the fucking rights. You know, the police don't have no fucking power, really. Even according to their constitution, according to the Constitution, they fucking servants.
But like you said,
They
yo,
peacekeepers. They
Like
really
you
don't
said-
have no power.
Well, they service to their masters,
they
the
still pay,
elites.
but like you said, they still
Protect their
pay.
interests, because it
Yeah.
said to serve and protect.
They-
They serving and protecting the interests of the elites, man, of the bankers, right? Because if they would serve and protect, they wouldn't even enforce half of these crooked laws that are unconstitutional in the first place, man. So yeah, this truly is a house divided, and these people get ready to get at each other. What you got?
It's Nahum 3 and 12. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they pick them, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. So like the brother Yazrala said, man, once the house of cards, once one system falls, the whole thing falls. The Lord said he's gonna do this in its perfection. Built that perfect storm, man. It all crumbles together, man.
Terror shall take hold on him on
every side.
Every side, man. It's like one of them real fancy what they call it, the dominoes. When they set up them dominoes, it'd be like $10,000. And they knock it over, and it take 5 minutes for it to do it.
Yeah.
And finally,
It's so fast.
yeah, it's right, uphill, downhill, circles,
Yeah.
right?
Trump shit.
You know, and that's exactly what's happening, man. It's that America was such an enormous empire that it's a domino effect. And now what we're seeing is the last part of that road, but we're seeing it end, and bam, and then boom, everything's gonna go up, man. And we're here, man, and it looks like LA the deck's gonna go up in LA first, and then Chicago might be right behind it, man. The shit going, you know, and it ain't looking too good in Texas either. They getting real hostile against the rest of the nation, and so is Florida. Florida is having beef with the North big
Oh
time.
yeah, Florida even I believe it was DeSantis. Yeah, it had to be. He had to be. He said, "You have the right. If the police are being unconstitutional, you got the right to shoot them."
Yeah. He was talking about those that security force. I mean those IRS agents. He said IRS agents or anybody else come onto your property. If they trespass, you have the right to defend your property.
Hey, this I said 19.
So, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, brother.
This I said 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud and chariots, man. Our Lord is going to come redeem us in great fashion, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And we're watching the heart of Egypt melt. We're watching them Morale, everything that this place what it is, man. From democracy, with his last shit show, all right, to the police force, to that's a big part of Esau's system. That law and order, that image of law and order. All right,
And it is an image.
Yeah.
You said it so correctly. It's an image.
Mhm.
Esau's never been about law and order.
No.
I've been watching that show that was written, that's based upon the writings of Bruce Lee, Warrior, that his daughter's producing. And it just goes to show you how Esau respects nobody else humanity but his own, because he keeps accusing it. It's about the Chinese immigrants in Chinatown in San Francisco. And it's actually a really good show, man. But it just goes to show you how wicked Esau is. All right. Now, not giving Moab a pass, but they was really fucking them over when they came here, and they were comparing it to what they were doing to, and they were always mentioning, Gad and the Negroes, and making a matter of fact, you had even some of the Edomites in the show calling Chinese niggers, calling them niggers. Right? They would call them heathen niggers. All right, and then the Chinese referred to them as ducks. And then I was like, what the fuck they were? And then I realized a duck walking around like it's proud, strut, with rhythmless and shit. All right, I was like, damn, that's why the fuck they call them ducks. I had to really, think about it. But nevertheless, it just goes to show you the level of hatred that Esau has for every goddamn body, and how he's really fucked over everybody. That's how you know that all these nations are to be at him, man. When that time comes, man. Because a lot of this shit that happened is based on historical events and shit that really happened. That these stories are created behind, around, and they were treating these people like less than human, man. Damn near as bad as they were treating Jake.
Damn it.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And that's that division. All right, Americans fighting Americans, Edomites against Edomites, Edomites against niggas, just Americans against Americans.
And it also goes to show you too. Let me that hypocritical that all the nations, they all had gangs and shit. The cops, just like in gangs in New York, the cops and firemen, the lawmen, they all were crooked and corrupt. The Chinese were banging on each other. You had the Tongs in this other group. Right now you got the triads, but they were killing each other, prostitution, selling their own women and people into prostitution. Same shit going on today, man. All right, but yet they talk so much shit about Jake. These heathens. All right,
the words with all sky on the earth.
Right, and they all were doing it, and then you have the Chinese that were in bed with Esau, fucking over their own people for a profit. It's the same bullshit, man.
And Esau footprint and fingerprint is all over the world, and everything he's spread was he's the
wherever there's wickedness,
Esau's
Esau's behind it. I don't care how brown, how whatever the people are. If there's money being earned, you follow the money, man. There's gonna be an Edomite there, and you're gonna find some small hats.
All wars are bankers' wars.
I go back to that real quick. This thing from 319. There was no healing of thy bruise. There was no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the brood of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually? All these heathens through with your ass. You saw your hand, and you're the board of witness, like it says in Malachi 1:4. All right, you got these nations to drink your cup. You got them to become partakers of your whoredoms, and now they're mad.
That's right. Esau's mad at Esau. The children will complain of an ungodly father. So now you got E mad at E.
You that damn wicked, the wicked mad at your ass.
That's right. The children are mad. That's right.
Yeah.
Collectively, that's true.
They still got that black gift in their head too, and that's something easy to sell upon. And I do mean sell upon. It is, man.
Matter of fact, let me read what Kazak put up. This is Ecclesiastes 27 and 30. It says, "Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both."
That's right.
And Esau about to get everything that he did, man, is about to come back to him. Galatians 6 and Colossians 3 and 25.
The verse above it.
It's about to be on his ass. Yes, it says.
I think you stop.
Go ahead, you read it, brother.
Verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die.
Damn, they're gonna die in pain, man.
That's it.
It's just like Yahweh, man. They're gonna be sitting at that table with their table of abomination, about to dig in. As soon as they put that spoon to their mouth, that fork to their mouth, man,
The blade comes
right,
in through the
right,
back of the
the
stomach.
lion gonna rip back out.
Smack their ass
But go
off.
ahead and finish that, brother. We're gonna wrap it up on that, brother.
It's back in Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So this violence is going to be on the citizen level, all the way up to nation versus nation. Lord is pouring that spirit of vengeance out there. Hey, like it says in Ezekiel, the Lord furbished that sword, man.
Right.
So violence is increasing in the earth. And man, we're gonna get a good show, brothers. Man, Lord bless what He like, man. Psalm 91. We're gonna see 10,000 fall to our left, 10,000 our right, but it should not come like thee.
That's right.
Only with thy eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked. That's our hope. We looking forward to this. We actually excited about it.
Come.
You know,
I
really,
pray every day, Lord, let it begin today.
that's right.
And if you and I suggest that you brothers pray it too. I pray it every night. And then when I wake up in the morning, I praise the Lord and I pray it. Let it begin today, Lord.
I told Sergeant Paul, I told him, look, when this shit happened, shoot these niggas. I told Sergeant, that's my nigga. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm like Charleston White.
Hey, but you know what? That's the Lord. That's still the Lord's prayer, because the Lord's prayer, you're supposed to be praying it every day. All right.
Hey,
He
so
said,
okay.
"Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done." So the Lord Himself prayed for it every day.
Yahweh Shai said, I can't bring priest with a sword. So his kingdom,
Come on, man.
that sword come, man.
Right.
Let's stop playing with the Lord. I mean, he ain't coming with lollipops and motherfucking roses. Nigga. He coming with vengeance. All right, he's coming to and bringing salvation to those that fear his name, man.
That's right.
That tremble at his word. If you've been out bullshitting, and what did it say? Can I just get one more other number?
Come. And then we gonna read them because I gonna fire over here, brother. We gonna read. We gonna read them. That Ecclesiastes. Yeah, the last two actually. That's two. Yeah.
Real quick, Zephaniah 1:12, and it shall come to pass at that time I will search Jerusalem with candles
Let's go.
and punish the men that are settled on their leaves that say in their heart, the Lord was not good, neither will He do evil. No section said. You don't think the Lord is in control of us from the hands of Esau? So you motherfuckers conform to this world. You don't think the Lord is in control and He's going to judge the wicked? So you motherfuckers follow the wicked? Hey, therefore their good shall become a booty. And the houses of desolation, hey, it shall be invading one another. They also shall build houses but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, drink the wine, or you're not gonna get to enjoy your labors, man. You've been putting in all this fucking work to fit in America, to make it in this fucking shit. All right, you're not gonna get to enjoy it. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord is prospering out there prophesying. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. All you niggas think you so tough and you're gonna be weeping. You think your switch gonna save during that day? No. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Man.
The Lord used the whole verse to say the same thing 4-5 different ways.
Man.
It's going to be very dark and troublous.
Hey, they gonna get snatched up like my man did last night, man. Balled up and choked out.
and nothing, and there's
Right.
nothing you can do
As a
about
matter
it.
of fact, they ain't even gonna put up as well of a fight as Kevin did. Right? They shit gonna be horrible, man.
A day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities. So just trumpet and alarms represents calamities. It's gonna be calamities here. Lion, escape the lion, and beg the
I was
bear
about
and
to
snake.
mention that.
Yep. Against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men. They don't know what the fuck to do. They should not make Yahweh your habitation, man.
Right.
Because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood should be poured out as dust.
They say you niggas praying to your sky daddy.
That's right.
Yes, we are.
That's right. That's the dumb. Hope make you not ashamed. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. He shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. The Lord gonna wipe you motherfuckers out quickly.
That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, and we're gonna rejoice.
That's it.
That's
it.
it.
Right. You would do the honor.
This is Ecclesiasticus 25:7. posted by Kazak Ban Yehuda. There be 9 things which I've judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
And you know what? A lot, and I'm gonna tell you this too, man. And this is specifically you women who supported Esau's system by destroying your own people, coming against your man, putting them into that system with that wicked Title 4D shit that destroyed our families and our people. All you women, 80 look, it's funny that 82% of the women are the ones who push for divorce. And then it was funny. I saw a meme that said 82. You know, women are always saying that men cheat, but yet 82% of the women, you know, Mari, the father, the guy wasn't the father.
Are not.
So yeah. So you're gonna pay your blood and your pain is gonna be a big part of this. Continue, Bob.
Where is the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers?
Yeah. So hey, the men of the Lord are gonna meditate terror, man. The Lord is gonna meditate terror, and He's gonna commit it on you. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praise, all